hello. Nice to meet you. What's your name? And,
It's my friend.
no, it's cool.
I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Everywhere you go, you're an anomaly. You're the original anomaly. And all this time, I have been the only one holding it all together.
Miguel, go easy on him.
You don't belong here. You never did. Has no idea what he's doing.
And I'm about to do this. Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
War isn't a game, girl.
That's funny. Soldier 76 said the same thing.
You spend your second chance at life walking a lonely road. No one cares, monk. Someone always cares. You must simply seek them out. I shouldn't be surprised you took his side.
You never gave me much choice. Wanna know what Martina's been up to?
Not interested.
That's not what my tracker says.
Are you ever tempted to contact your wife?
No.
Afraid she would try to kill you?
I'd be surprised if she didn't.
Your body seems to be adapting well to the changes, Gabriel.
This is what you call well.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Tonight's video is what does it look like when a man just gives up in pursuing women and fighting for the relationship. I did that toward the end of my marriage. Well, actually, I did it one other time as well. But she was able to revive me that other time I did it because I thought we was going to break up. She didn't leave me. She stayed, even though I was going through some stuff right there. And that loyalty right there really touched my heart. And therefore, I gained new strength and got back on board with the relationship. The reason why I was giving up in the first place was was starting to drown financially because I know it wasn't her intention, and she was my most serious girlfriend because the other women that I had dated in the past, it only lasted probably a few months, a couple of months or something. A lot of times, maybe it turned to a long distance thing because they moved away or I moved away or they just disappeared into the wind chasing after a Tyrone or a Chad or something. She did say, so I will give her that credit with that particular thing, even though she was doing certain things that was driving me up the wall. I never really found that kind of loyalty again in my exchanges with the women that I came across. Of course, though, I know it's rare, but I know it's definitely rare in the US, okay? Because both men and women, a lot of them is out for themselves. On the opposite side, when women are given to men, they'll come across men that will just trample all over their heart. And on the opposite side, men that are givers or will actually try to do things in the best interest of the woman that he's with, she'll take advantage of that. So when someone you've been with for a long period of time eventually starts taking advantage of your kindness, you start wondering, what the hell? So I've learned that if I do start gaining feelings with a woman, I still have to somewhat detach and take an audit of the relationship. If she is still putting in or doing the things that she was doing in the beginning, and if not, is there a reason, or is it a byproduct of me not doing something and therefore she's not doing it? Because I know I'm definitely like that. If she stopped doing something, then I'm going to stop doing it. It's like if I have a roommate and I'm constantly washing the dishes, and I get tired of I'm the one that's always washing the dishes, and it's not like they're cooking, then I'll just stop washing dishes and see how much it will pile up. And if they don't make an effort to wash the dishes, then I'll be like, yeah, this not gonna work. And it's just over dishes. Now, of course, though, that's not the proper way to do it. Okay, that was some ways that I would do things passive aggressively, but it's better just to address and tell the person. Of course, though, you got to tell them in the right way before you start getting really irritated, and see if they are going to listen. At least give them the chance, because who knows? Maybe in the household that they was in, somebody else always picked up the bill or always did something, so they got comfortable and assumed they didn't have to do that function if they're living with somebody or if they are in a relationship. So that's why I had to learn. And that's where I felt at times in those relationships in the past, was communicating to her. So now definitely, since I fixed that flaw with myself, and I didn't necessarily just fix it for them, I fixed it for me. That way I'm not getting aggravated, and that way I can cut to the chase or speed up to the end of the story if it's going to end. I was talking quite a bit. Anyway, as I say, I have a video of how a man looks when he has given up in pursuing women. I'm not there yet, but I understand if men are. So let's look at that.
I think there's something wrong, fundamentally wrong, with the way men even think about women today. Look at all these alpha male channels, and they're having you, when anyone that you click on, bro, it is like this checklist. It's like all these responsibilities. You got to do this. You got to do this. But you got to be this. You got to be this. And you got to do this. And bro, there's dudes that sell like courses on this stuff. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably millions. I mean, all like the whole business of trying to get like to sell men on how to make a woman like them or to keep women. Like, you see that the whole framework, this entire framework, is about worrying or being concerned with or preoccupied with what women want or how to keep them, like what they desire, what they actually want. I think that's where we're fucking up. I think that's where we're fucking up, bro. If I'm being honest, I just have this intuition that like you're not. I mean, personally, I'm at the point where that shit is exhausting to me. I mean, maybe you can call me selfish or you can just call me, whatever you want, but I'm at the point where I don't really believe in that. I just don't believe it. Like, say what you want about me. I don't believe it. I just don't. I'm not going to live in a world. I'm not going to live my life like concerned with what, like having this checklist in my mind and like trying to be like the perfect dude and checking all the boxes and making sure that a woman is, that my tone of voice is right,
Let me stop him right here. I totally agree with where he's taking this conversation. I wish I felt the way that I feel now about the whole dating, whole marriage, women in general. I don't hate women. And I'm not just saying it to be a cliche type of thing, because when I had my last heartbreak, I purposely started to gather women associates and friends. And I did that for two reasons. One, because almost every woman that I've ever dated has a slew of man friends that's in the business, that's that I feel like is competition. And if I'm not sure what to do in that situation, because if I act in a certain way, I look insecure and controlling. And if I don't do something, then I look like a bitch or a sucker or what's the word for that? A simp. Okay. And a lot of women will not see it that way because they got used to doing certain guys. They have a certain energy, a certain kind of way, and them just taking it. And also, I've seen men that go over and beyond for their women. Of course, though, they probably chose the wrong woman, or maybe she was right at one time, but then she had some awakening, or she ran into her twin flame, or she found another man or woman that gave her a spark that he's not giving her, and then her feelings totally change, okay, for the guy that's been there and have been dealing with her shit and always supporting her. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the end with, well, with the women that I've come across. And of course, I know I never like to generalize, because even though I've dated quite a few women, I've only been in a couple serious relationships, and I've only been married once. And of course, I can go by some of the people around me, but there has to be somewhere they get it right, that the man and woman are on the same page. Actually, I do know a couple, but see, once again, it's social media, and a lot of times I don't know if what I see is actually what it is in their life. But she recently had a baby. Their relationship still seems strong. See, some women never show their man. Some dudes do it too, but some women never show their man, and some women only show their kids. Well, they'll show their kids and themselves, but not their man. So you don't even know if their man even exists. I often think that's strange. Huh. So anyway, let him continue.
That I take her enough places, that I keep her interested, that I keep her entertained, and yet that I lead her, but I lead her firmly, but yet nonchalantly, and but then I have to pass all these tests that she's gonna have. But it's like, but then you got to do some nice things, but you just also have to not care. But then you have to be yourself, and it's like, but being yourself is in stark contradiction to doing all the rest of it, because myself wouldn't do all the rest of it. Myself would just be myself. I think the main point here that I'm trying to make is don't. I think that women, what they can sense more than anything, the deepest thing that they sense, the most fundamental thing that they sense in you, is if you are concerned with or trying to make them happy, or you're so preoccupied with making them happy. It shows. They can sense this intuitively. It shows them that, like, you're not happy with yourself, with just yourself, and that's who they want. They only want a man who's like happy with himself, who's good with himself. And a man that's happy with himself doesn't really worry about losing women. You see what I mean? You're not worried about losing women. Like, your concern shouldn't be to lose them. Oh no, I can't lose you. Oh no, you can't stray. Oh no, you can't cheat on me. Oh no, you can't disrespect me. I mean, disrespect is mostly just in your mind, bro. It's only disrespect if you believe that it is, really. I mean, it's everybody else will think that it's disrespect if you believe it. If you believe that it's disrespect. You notice that? You ever notice that? Like, there are a lot of things that, you're told, like, oh, that's disrespectful, or oh, they disrespect you. Bro, most of those things, all these things that are supposed to be disrespectful to us, most of those things I don't even. I mean, say what you want about me. Maybe I'm just out here getting disrespected all the time. I'm just getting disrespect left and right. But like, I don't think so. I don't feel disrespected. How could you? I mean, aren't I the only one who can disrespect me? I don't know.
Okay, I know what he's saying right here. 2 points though, which I think is easy for him to say because he's not in a relationship. But I do think men fear losing a woman when he's married to her because she gets walking away money, and if she has kids, she's going to take the kids, unless if she's a really unfit mom. And also, you might have become attached to her being in your life. I mean, I do think sometimes this is disingenuous to a certain degree because if you have a dog, and of course the dog's not going to leave you, even though some dogs do run away, but you have a dog and you start loving that dog, and then the dog just passes away, or somebody just steals the dog. Okay, you have a small type of dog, a Chihuahua or something. That was the only dog I could think of. I don't really like those kind of dogs. They're a little too feisty or something. But one, your dog gets stolen or passes away or something, you're going to miss that dog. And of course, you can buy a new dog, but yet you have grown to love and like the attention of that dog right there. Now, if he believes that, then fine. Understand. But if you are a man that does become attached to the woman that's been in your life, that's now, of course, though, not if she's dogging you or treating you bad or just not being there, but if she is a good woman for a period of time, and then for some reason she just decides to up and leave you, because you're going through something, or she found someone else, is going to hurt. And I don't think it's shame of being hurt by a woman. Of course, though, don't stay there, but acknowledge that. Because I think that's one of the problems with men. We keep stuff in, we don't show that we're in pain or stress. So either sometime we will delete ourselves, or we may just have a heart attack one day when we get a certain age because we kept all that stress inside our body. Another thing that he was talking about women leaves. Oh, disrespect. He was talking about disrespect. Now, the thing with disrespect though is, okay, I'll put this in a term that maybe if he's watching it, he'll see. Let's say you're just minding your business and some dude just comes up and spits in your face. Is that disrespectful? Okay. Is that going to make you a little mad? Yes. Yes, it is. A woman being disrespectful could be one who is flirting with another guy in front of you. And of course, your interpretation of it is, well, it could be part of the problem. This is why a lot of men do put up with a lot of stuff with women, especially if they're beautiful or pretty. But at the same time, there's some men that she would never do that to. You want to be the guy that she's not crossing the boundary, or not stepping on your toes, or not testing you. Okay? I think you have to be careful with this particular thing right here. I mean, if that's how he feels, okay, I understand. But if you feel disrespected, or you feel that the woman's not valuing how you feel or how you think about something, you have the right to feel a certain kind of way. So if you don't feel nothing, okay, fine. But if you do, it's okay. That's something I think men need to hear, because we always hear we should feel nothing. We should be stoic. We should just take it on the chin. Fuck that.
I don't feel most of those things. I wouldn't respond to. I just wouldn't even care about. Like, there's dudes, if you say like one wrong thing to them, they'll like blow up and like try to start a fight or something like that. There's dudes that can't even take a joke. You know? See what I mean? All these things that women do, like subtle like shit tests, where they like say something like little snippy about you, or they say some passive aggressive comment or whatever. Like, in one sense you're told to like, oh, just let it go, but then in another sense you're told to like nip it in the bud and like make sure that they know like that's just respect. Just it's like, bro, like who can worry about who can worry about all this, man? You see, like, you see what's going on. You see what's going on. Like, women have all these requirements. Like, alpha males, the alphas, all the alphas. These are apparently the alphas, right? These are the alphas that are telling us this. The dudes that drive nice cars and, you know, they look good, and they're probably just jacked on steroids, but like they look good, and you know, they have all this experience with women, and they get women and they get bitches and all this stuff. They're telling us all these things you got to do. I don't know, bro. It kind of seems like all y'all are slaves, right? Kind of seems like all y'all are slaves to women. It seems like women have somehow tricked you guys. They've tricked even the alpha males into like doing the things that like all these things that women want. It's like, okay, maybe that's just a certain level of women. Maybe that's just most women. maybe the 1 or 2% or 3% of women are actually fairly level-headed, have a good head on their shoulders. They don't need all that stuff. They don't need the 100 list of things that you need to accomplish. And if you miss one, then, they're going to cheat on you. Oh, you didn't have the right vocal tone. So you cheated on me? Yeah. All right. Okay. Wow. Don't you know you're supposed to have the right vocal tone? I don't know, man. I'm just kind of at a point where I don't really want to worry about what women want. You feel me? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about what women want. As if that's the only thing that matters. As if that's what I need to do in my life. Why should I care? Why should I care? How about I worry about what I want? And the people that are closest to me and that are my friends, okay, yeah. Being good to friends, being good to the people that I care about, and being good to myself and prioritizing me. Why? I mean, it's just... And if they're just... they're so exhausting to interact with and to think about. It's exhausting to think about all the things that you have to do to, if you are in that frame of mind, if they're as complicated and as contradictory and recursive and whimsical and nonsensical as we think they are, as they may very well be, then you might as well just not even think about what a woman wants at all, because there is no end to it. There's no beginning. There was never a beginning. There'll never be an end. There is no like perfect... Yeah, you just connect the dots here and make this perfect, like, fit the puzzle piece together, and then she's gonna... everything clicks into place. Oh, he's a man and he's got me and my pussy's his, and I'm just helpless to him, and blah 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 blah.
He's right here.
I just don't think it's like that, bro. I think I don't know what women really are today. I mean, it's exhausting. It's exhausting enough just to make videos about women. You feel me? Why would I date a woman? Dating, I don't believe in dating. I don't know what that is. I don't know what women don't. They just don't seem like women to me. Women today don't seem like... I don't know what women are, but they don't seem...
Okay, this part right here. Any women watching this, not all men think like this. Now, he was right a chunk after I interrupted the thing about disrespect and a woman leaving you or you losing a woman. But after that, he was definitely right. Right here. And the thing is, though, I'm not telling him how to think or feel. If he's at this point that he says that he's at, then that's okay. Thing is, I do hear a lot of men say that older men don't date or men don't date. And I understand where that's coming from because, as I know, if you're dating a woman, you start spending a lot of money. And if she's your woman, you will be paying for things like getting her hair done and nails. That's what I did for the woman that I married. I did not do that with the last woman that I was really serious with. I did not do that particular stuff right there, but I still did take her out and we did activities, and those activities do get a little expensive. Now, me personally, I do like an activity partner. Thing is, though, ever since a couple of times I've got into financial situations with trying to keep up the fun boat with the women that I was with, and each time they ditched me. And of course, the one that I married, she didn't leave right away. Okay, but I do think she did certain things or entertained, and she definitely was entertaining other dudes. Of course, though, some of them was probably friends, but however, though, it was always a new one. It was always a new one or new ones. So I'll say that she was entertaining them, probably keeping them as backups or men, maybe to keep an eye on me. But thing is, though, I wasn't allowed to do the same thing. So that's another reason why I had a lot of female associates and friends, because I'm like, I'm never going to have a woman cut me off from having friends. Okay. And I can be friends with a woman. Thing is, though, they won't be my best friend. They won't be somebody I'm constantly with, because if I start dating a woman or taking her seriously, she's going to be in that spot. And knowing myself, I'll feel a little bad, like, well, I haven't seen so and so period of time. I'll be thinking about that right there. And the new girlfriend will be like, well, hey, is something going on with y'all? And I don't feel like going through all that particular stuff. Women can always sidestep that kind of stuff. But see, then when that dude in them is cheating, then you as a dude need to kick himself in the butt and be like, damn, I knew it. And that's usually how it is. Well, I disagree with the dating thing. Look, men, y'all can do as y'all want to do. Me, usually, sometime I do want to do activity. If I'm not with friends, I don't mind a woman coming with me to share and do the activity. Okay, so technically that would be a date, but that's my stance on that.
Seem like women. I don't know what dating is. Dating doesn't make sense to me. That seems really feminized. That seems cuckish. That just seems like stemming from a place of lack, of like trying. It seems all around like trying to like please the woman and do all the right things. And I don't know. Maybe I've just seen through a lot of why you need a relationship at all, like why you need a romantic relationship at all. I mean, sex would really be. I'm just being honest, bro. I'm just being honest. Like, sex is really. It would really be the only plus. And then, but that, I'm trying to get lust under control. So it's like, would that really even be a plus? No, it would drain me. And I would just, I don't know what's going on, man. It just don't. This whole women thing, I don't think we think about it. Like, why should there be all this content about what women want? You know what I mean? Isn't it weird? Would this content exist in ancient Rome? Would there be classes about how to get women and like what women want? I don't think so. In ancient Rome, there were probably no classes or courses or any teachings about how to get women or what women wanted. I'm pretty sure Romans didn't care what women wanted. And, that sounds very savage and very cavalier and just very disrespectful of women. But there's always this idea that I can never shake, which is, what if these enigmas, just complete mysteries that were dropped here, that have all these requirements, an endless list that can never be satisfied or satiated. what if their actual real, what they get true desire and happiness from, and what actually satisfies them, is for us to not care what satisfies them? Isn't that a possibility? It's at least a possibility. We gotta consider it, right? We at least have to consider the possibility that maybe we've just all been tricked, and that all of us worrying about what women want is like, that's the problem. Worrying about what women want, that is the problem. Why are we? Why? If they don't make sense, if there's no logical, rational rhyme or reason to them, then why are we? You know what I mean? I'm just saying this from a completely intuitive sort of standpoint, where like, I don't really have it in me to care anymore, like, about what women want. Or I guess I'm just tired of all this junk in my mind. I've seen what they do. I've seen what a lot of them do. And maybe they're all like lower level ones, I grant that. Maybe they're not higher level ones. Maybe I have very limited interactions with high level women. But of all the women that I've seen, work their magic in the world, and all the ones that I've interacted with and been in romantic situations with, just, they don't. They're just exhausting. They're confusing. I can't. The only thing you can do with them is just like, not like, I'm just, living in a basement. I'm just a no-name dude. But I don't. These women don't seem right to me. This whole thing don't seem right to me. This whole dynamic just don't seem right to me. It just seems weird. It seems weird. It seems off. And I'm just like, I'm gonna wait until things seem right again. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You wait it out, and you just let your balls fill and just become more and more masculine, and maybe some of these women will start to like just acquiesce, just change a bit. And then maybe things start to change. I don't know. Because it don't seem right. It seemed like I have to. Why should I have to think about it? Why should I have to care about it? Because that's never done anybody any good. I feel like the more you care and the more you think about what women want, like, the worse it gets. Even if you're even if it's coming from like an alpha male place, like, oh yeah, this is what you do to gain their attraction and keep their attraction and all this stuff.
True.
I mean, most of those women are just damaged. They got daddy issues anyway. They're just attracted to like toxic stuff. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's like, 70 actually healthy women out there that are capable of real, genuine, like, I don't know, healthy love. I don't know.
Damn.
It's just weird. It's just weird. All I'm saying is, I don't know about this whole caring about what they want thing. It just don't seem like, what I should just care about myself, live my life. Why do I even need a woman? Like, if I need to care about like all these things that you need and want and all these requirements, why would I want a person like that in my life? If that was a dude, bro, think about it. Any dude who comes across and has all the requirements of a woman, alpha male channels making all these conversations, all these videos about all this content about, what your guy friends want, how to keep guy friends, How to make sure that you have a bro, that you keep your bro. Bro, I tell you what, none of us would have friends anymore. We'd all just be like, fuck those dudes. They're fucking gay. I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing shit. All these requirements that you have, who the fuck do you think you are? I don't need you in my life. I got fucking Chris in a wheelchair down the street. His mom cooks fucking hella good oatmeal cookies, and he's just chill. He's a good dude. I'ma just chill with it. He's my bro, dude. He don't want nothing from me. You see what I mean? Like, but when it's women, when it comes to women, like, oh, we're suddenly fine with all these requirements that they have, all these things that they want. Bro, you should just look at them like you would any other human being on the face of the planet and just be like, what are all these requirements? Y'all can go fuck yourselves with all that. Like, who, what, how, what? No, 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 no. I'm good. Until women change and they are like, maybe I'll be waiting for the rest of my life. Maybe dudes are supposed to maybe this is the whole thing. Like, you're supposed to come here, you're supposed to come to Earth and just like get sucked into this, like, oh, like, what? Oh, there's a female. Okay, they're different from me. They're different from a male. Oh, what do they want? Okay, let me just think about this for the rest of my life. Oh, how to make a woman happy. Oh, what do they want? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I'm a successful man because I made a hot woman happy, and I had her kids. Blah 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 blah. Like, what?
Well, there you have it. That dude has checked out. I don't know about his life situation because he said he's living in the basement. I don't know if he was just being facetious with that statement or if that is his life at the time. At this time. Now, I know really white men started that men going their own way type of thing. Once, and I'll say this for any women watching, once the good guys start doing it, the nice guys, the authentic nice guys, okay, even the simp type dudes start doing it, but once white dudes start doing that, I'm like, wow, okay, because other nationalities have already did that to a degree. I know in my culture, men have been doing it, but a lot of those men are bad dudes. But once again, once the good dudes start, be like, you know what, I'm not jumping through hoops, and that's how I felt whenever I was giving up in my relationship. I felt that everything that I was doing did not matter. And that's why I made that short of in the end, it doesn't matter. Now, of course, though, people hearing that little snippet of that video can come to different conclusions of, okay, well, she needs to move on, so obviously she has to get over it or something. But I always notice that women usually, not all the times, it depends on the dude that leaves them and depends when he leaves. But if he's a chatter Tyrone, he's a movie star, rock star or something, if those dudes drop a woman, it seems like it takes them longer to get over it. If it's that second choice, that dude low in her rotation that she decided to dig up from the minors to marry and have a kid with, and she just drops him and say she graduated from a marriage or something, yeah, they'll get over that a lot quicker. And of course, they have other men to replace them, or even if not exactly to replace him, they will be there to entertain her or at least give her some of the attention that she needs. And that's not even counting if she's bisexual or she comes out that she's into women now. Okay, that's a wholly different ball of wax with that one. For me, I'm not to that point yet. But however, the same way I got with that with a certain culture of women, because I kept having the hardest time talking to them or connecting with them. And it kept being some wall I had to climb. And of course, I realized, oh, because I'm not the man that they want. I'm not a thug or a hoodlum or a rich dude or a young guy that his uncle gave him a car or parents gave them a car and they're barely 18 or 19. Okay. I did not have that luck with that particular thing. And not to say I did have some women that was interested in me, but either sometime I missed it because I was obsessing over the wrong one, or either they were too bossy and controlling and totally just turned me off. Now, of course, while I'll say I had better luck with other cultures of women, I find out that a lot of them are similar as well. Well, the ones that I chose when it gets down to it, because either they put their best foot forward when they are trying to secure the relationship. Sometimes it can be just to have a boyfriend, or it could be to move in and have somebody help them with bills. But the most nefarious women are the women that have that, well, I'm dating to marry, which I understand you don't want to waste your time, but are you just trying to marry anyone, or are you trying to choose a man that you actually have feelings for, that, well, you get that balance of he does have his life together. Maybe he may have certain things that you would want the guy to have, but he doesn't have, but he has all those other things that you are highly attracted to. Or do you just pick a guy that he has the financials there, he seems nice, and if things don't work out after we get married and have kids, I can still take money, like I'm still in a relationship with him, and he's not there, and I can still start searching for a new man or a woman or whatever they are into, and keep having fun until the kid is 18 or depending on the state. So that right there, that's why I'm not sure about marriage right now, especially with most of the women that I've met or I got a chance to know in the States, because you're not burning me like that. I only need to get burnt one time. And that's not to say all women are bad or they will do you like that. But the thing is, though, until the totally foolproof way to tell which women will and won't do you certain kind of ways, it's better not to get into that situation. So, anyway, once again, this video is what a man looks like when he has totally just checked out or he has given up. Looking for love, finding a woman. This is partly how a man feels, definitely when he's in a relationship with a woman, he just feels trapped. Because obviously, when he leaves, he's going to lose the coat off of his back when he leaves. So, and that's why it's not so easy for the man to leave when he's unhappy in the marriage. Unless if he can just, he's real clever of leaving and not getting raked across the coals. Similar like that soccer player that, I forget the guy's name, that put all his assets inside his mom's name. Okay. So forget the prenup. Maybe do that, especially if the woman's moving suspect or shady. So give me a like and subscribe and have a good night.
They say as a man you should always get a high-paying job so that you can potentially take care of a family. But you should also make sure you have enough spare time to spend with your spouse so that they don't get lonely. If you're a father, you need to be there for and support your children. But don't try to guide them or structure them or especially discipline them in any way or you're abusive. You're expected to be masculine in order to be attractive. But you should also get in touch with your sensitive side. But not enough to cry, because that makes you look weak. Women are allowed to hit you, but you should never hit them back. If you even want the chance of having a woman, be prepared to take her out to a fancy dinner and a fancy car and get her flowers and drinks and all of that. But don't expect or ask for anything in return, because then you're pushy. Remember, you have to dote on the girl in every possible way. But in the end, it's her decision as to whether or not all of your time and energy was worth her giving you anything in return. And if she leaves you after a 6-year-long relationship, remember, she's just doing what's best for her. But if you leave her after 6 years, you're a scumbag who obviously never cared. Make sure you're intelligent, or women are going to look down on you. But women are always right, so they're going to look down on you anyway. Plus, if you're really smart, they're going to see you as arrogant. And be confident, because confidence is sexy. But don't be cocky. Sleep with too many women and you're just a man whore who's afraid of commitment. But don't sleep with enough women and you're less desirable because of your inexperience. Be independent, but do what you're told. Have high standards, but not high expectations. Accept women at their best and their worst. But change every negative aspect of yourself in order to prove your love. You're a man, you should have all the answers. But if you have all the answers, you're a narcissist.
Dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way I feel, boss. Some money, dropping on my money. Drop some money on a sister, yummy, yeah. Drinking, right at things I like. More, bye, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money.